Hope you all are doing well and studying hard. So today's news analysis is going to be very interesting. We would start our news analysis with an editorial regarding how higher education, how graduated people are now facing unemployment. The news was regarding this higher educated unemployment which is seen over here. Okay, so the recent report has said that fewer than half of graduates are employable in 2021. So you see 2021, what was this year? It was the year when the students who were taking online classes during covid have now graduated in this year. Okay, so the online classes has somehow affected their quality of education. So here what the in this editorial what the writers conveys that not only just because of online classes, but the deterioration of quality education has been always a problem for our country. Okay, also according to a recent report of periodic labor force survey, unemployment rate among graduate is higher in our country. Okay, graduate unemployment rate is higher in our country than those of developing one. So this is what the report says. Now, what was the reason? First of all, as I told you, the quality education has been deteriorated. The in this editorial, one of the writer is the professor, and he told about the difficulties the students have to face, the amount of screen timing they would have to go through just because to take the online classes, and those things somehow affected their knowledge. Also, the other reasons are, first of all, I will write reason for this. First of all, the quality of education has been deteriorated, as I said. Then also, investment is largely seen in building. Okay, people while taking admissions, they don't go through the faculties that who are going to teach them, but they go through the buildings. Okay, so investment in building rather than the people. Okay, then also, in our country, private institutions are increasing rapidly. Okay, which is resulting into quality deterioration. See what is happening. The private institutions, they are increasing their fields, and the central and the state and the UGC, they do not have the capacity to regulate them. Okay, these universities are now merely exam giving institutions. Okay, they do not provide any research and development support to the students. These private institutions do not provide. Okay, globally there was this fact that you can write this, that globally R&D expenditure, research and development expenditure, is 70% by the private players and 30% by the rest government. But in India it's opposite. The 70% of the R&D is from public sector. So and so in India, 0.7% of GDP this is spent on R&Ds. Okay, so these are the reasons why the quality of education has been deteriorated, and in turn the number of graduates are still unemployed. Then this was the another editorial regarding Kerala National Urban Commission. So what the news was, Kerala has formed its own urban commission According to the Niti Aayog's report, 90% of the Kerala 90% of this area would be urbanized. Okay, so that's the reason that Kerala has formed this commission. So what was the reason for forming the commission? Okay, so it is made for the development and planning of urban cities of Kerala. Now, what was the reason to form this commission? So, first of all, you should understand that urban areas needs to be planned. Okay, why do they need to be planned? So that urban population, just imagine that the area is going urbanized now. Okay, now what would happen? Encroachment will be there. Okay, so if the planning is there, encroachment would be regulated. The urban population put pressure on our natural resources, which in turns creates many natural calamities, like uh, it if it increases the global warming, it somehow impact the climate change. Okay, so for with proper urban planning, we can lower the hindrance on our natural resources. Deforestation can be prevented. Okay, waste management, urban, if there is urban planning, we have a proper waste management procedure. Also the urbanized area are highly populated, their population density is high. So we need to manage that those population density. Also during COVID, would have seen that the number of COVID cases were coming large from those of urban area rather than the rural area. Okay, so that's why we need to manage, that can be one of the reason we need to manage the population density. Also, these urban lands are now turning into the heat island of the city. So in order to prevent that, we need the planning. Okay, so this is all the editorial is about. It also mentions about the 73rd and 74th constitutional amendments. So this was all these news about. Then there's the news regarding Gulf of Aden. So what the news was that Indian Navy has deployed ships in this area for the maritime security purpose. Okay, we need to understand where the Gulf of Aden is. Okay, so this is Yemen. There's the port Aden over here, and this is African continent, Africa. Okay, so this would be Gulf of Aden. It's the Red Sea, and this area is Bab al Mandeb Strait. Okay, so this Gulf of Aden is very important for us because it connects the Arabian Sea to the Red Sea. Okay, Red Sea, in which further connects to the Mediterranean Sea. So the Indian Navy has deployed the armies over here. Okay, so if we see Gulf of Aden, if we want to see what is the proper location, so if it is this Gulf of Aden, in north of it there is Yemen, in west of it there's Djibouti, here Somalia, and here is the Arabian Sea. Okay, why is security deploying, why the Indian Navy is deploying security forces over here? Because there are lots of terrorism activity which are going over there. There is piracy in this location. Also there's, we can see that refugees smuggle through these way to go through the various parts of the Europe. So there are the several reasons. We need only to know that what's the proper location of the Gulf of Aden through this news. Okay, then there was other news regarding ECGC. Okay, so it's export credit guarantee corporation of India Limited. Okay, so what the news was the news was that ECGC has expanded to cover exporters of the jewelry market. Okay, so what is this ECGC? It's Export Credit Guarantee Corp of India Limited. It is owned entirely by Ministry of Commerce. It is under Piyush Goyal Sahab. Okay, so what is this objective? First of all, to understand it, we should understand what is it actually. So see, if this is some exporter, okay, now as it has expanded its area to jewelry also, so we understand now this exporter is selling a necklace to an company in UK, United Kingdom. Okay, so he is selling his goods to this overseas company, UK. Now what if this firm refuses to pay him money back? So in and these can be chances. So due to this, there is a risk involved here, and the exporter would, what if this overseas company refuses to pay the money back? So these kind of conditions somehow put discourages the exporter to export the goods, and our country wants that our export shall get increase. So in order to this, ECGC was made. What it's do is, it is established just to promote exports. Okay, ECGC is just established to promote exports. Okay, it promotes export by providing credit insurance service. This will provide credit insurance service to the exporter against the non-payment risk. Okay, so if this overseas firm refuses to pay back due to any of its commercial or political reason, then ECGC will came in the role, and it will provide credit insurance service to the exporter, so that exporters, the risk of non-payment is lowered, and exporter will increase their exports. Okay, so this was all this news about. Then other is regarding, we have seen a picture of green honey creeper. So it was found by ornithologist in Colombia. It's not, its varieties can be seen very often, but this green honey creeper was very rare, because it was half male and half female. That's the news is about, because such type of hybrids variety we can see in insects, but it's rare in uh, when it comes to the birds. So this was this news about. The other news was regarding cyber kidnapping. Would have heard regarding a news of kidnapping of a Chinese boy in Utah city of US, where their parents had to pay $80,000, somehow about $80,000 to the ransom to the hackers. So what is this cyber kidnapping? It can be asked in your examination. So cyber kidnapping is a form of online scam. Okay, so here individuals are not physically kidnapped. Okay, here individuals are manipulated or tricked. They are manipulated or tricked, where they start believe that they are in danger, into believing that they are in gross danger. They are in life threatening dangers. Okay, and they prove this by often provide fake evidences. Okay, so it is a mere here there is no physical abduction, but it totally relies on psychological tactics. Okay, so it is a scam. It's a cream. It just creates a false sense of danger. Okay, on the victims. Due to that, the victim indulge in isolating themselves, or they start providing personal informations, or start making financial transactions. Okay, so how does it work is, So what happens is these kidnappers, uh, they start, first of all, they will communicate with the victim, okay, and they will create fake evidence in order to enhance the delusion of being in danger, and then they will use threats of violence, or they will produce the fake evidences, fabricated evidences, okay, and in turn the victim will isolate themselves, okay. This also include financial demands transactions, as in the case of this Chinese boy, where their parents have to pay a large amount of money. So these cyber kidnapping is obviously illegal, and those involving such activities need faces legal consequences. So how can we protect yourself from such things? So in order to protect, we should create strong password, okay. We should use secure internet connections. We should avoid public wi-fi connections, okay. uh, then we should private our social media handle, okay. And then other, we should be aware, we should we should adjust our privacy settings. So these are the measures we could take to avoid such things happening to us or any of our family member or friends, okay. The other news was regarding this nano urea. So we everyone knows that we uses urea, and use of urea in our agriculture field is, farmers use irrationally, which somehow deteriorate the nutrient availability of the soil. So scientists made nano urea. What was its significance is, it claimed that uh, it claimed that 500 ml spray of urea was equal to 45 kg of conventional urea, okay. And it would not deteriorate the quality of the soil and all. Also, it was developed by IFCO. So it said that it is good for the soil and for the plants and everything, okay, and was used in foliar spray. But the recent study of Punjab Agriculture University, it said that it had 2 year research on this nano urea, and it said that when the quantity of grain in wheat and rice was lowered when nano urea was used, as compared to the conventional urea. Also, the yield was 22% lowered in wheat by use of nano urea, and 13% in case of rice. So also this nano urea is costly. That means the input cost of the farmers has been increased due to this nano urea. So this was the news regarding this. The other news was that ECI, Election Commission of India, has issued new rules for granting symbols to the new unrecognized parties, okay. So what was the rule is, first of all, the party, in order to have a political symbol, their party symbol, they have to provide audited account of their party of at least 3 financial year, okay. Then they have to show their expenditure statement of last 2 election, okay. Then the other step was, in order to get the symbol, that they have to issue the signature of authorized office bearer of party, along with a application form of symbol. So this was the new rule which has been issued by the ECI. Election symbols are allotted by ECI, okay, under the allotment order 1968. So these are all the important current affairs which has been discussed in today's newspaper. Thank you.